Hello again. Now, this project is going to be the repair shop equivalent of an amusement park ride, more than it's going to be anything heavy duty. Even though from the title of the channel, or the name of it, is high grade repair and restoration, or and repair, whatever. From time to time I've decided we'll do some of this kind of thing just to keep it fresh, and because the audience for this has grown far past what I expected in the early days, and I think some of that's because there are some newcomers getting into this, where I expected to only be attracting experienced workmen. I think we're getting some new guys, so this kind of the thing should appeal to them more than some of the collectible heavyweight stuff. Anyway, here's the story. This is actually a Barling pipe, but it's pretty difficult to read the stamping. I'll do what I can to show it to you. You can see the NG in the shiny area there, and all of the nomenclature is there. EX, CX, EL, all that kind of stuff. It's just really faint because it's been buffed so much and then it was refinished. Well, I ended up with this pipe so long ago I've forgotten where it came from. It was in a box of junkers I had in a closet. I was going through it looking for something else, came across it, and it actually had this. A badly made, as you can see by the slot and some other things. It had been repaired with a replacement stem and then heavy-handed refinish. And even though it's a nice piece of wood, it wasn't a pipe that I wanted in my rack. So for whatever reason, again, lost to time, I threw it in a box, forgot about it. Well, I came across it and thought, well, I might throw together a quick stem for this and a refinish, and then had another thought that seemed like more fun still. Because I've got a number of pipes that are legitimate, interesting pipes for like English collections and stuff, that this would not make the grade, mostly because the nomenclature's gone. Even if it had a perfect stem on it, that kind of spoils it. Now, will it smoke tobacco? Oh yeah, as well as it ever did or ever could. And Barling's had quite a reputation as being special in that regard. They were very fussy about their wood, and people who are Barling aficionados swear by them. So with that in mind, I thought, nobody's done what I'm about to describe, or what I'm imagining here, and maybe we'll start a trend. A quick digression. Everybody knows what a hot rod is. Now, I don't mean a custom car, which is made to look a certain way and where function is incidental to form. I'm talking about a hot rod. Especially when I was a kid, they would bolt on whatever to make it go faster, and whatever you ended up with is how it looked. No consideration was given to appearance beyond a certain point. So they'd cut holes in the hoods and carve out the wheel wells to put bigger tires on them, whatever. Those were hot rods in my day. How about hot rodding a pipe? Meaning start with a good piece of wood. This is absolutely a good piece of wood of a utilitarian shape. And I've always liked, this is an LB size, meaning a Dunhill LB size billiard, which has always been a favorite of mine. How about if I rework this with nothing in mind except performance? The appearance is not only secondary, it's irrelevant. And then I thought, well, given a free hand, I can make it whatever I prefer. So I thought, because I am not sensitive to the hardness or softness of vulcanite, that whole business of lucite versus vulcanite, I find that on my own pipes, having a high grade of acrylic is preferable, because it you don't deal with all of the green and the kind of the off taste that it can have when it gets too gunky. And so here we go. This is a high-grade Maki acrylic plastic in a molded blank, which is a big no-no among the highfalutin types, but I don't care, right? So I thought, well, I'm going to cut a tenon on it, and did, and I'm going to funnel it, and I did that, and I'm going to drill it with a fancy drill bit, did that, and I'm going to mess with the slot to the depth I like and adjust all these things, and then when I put this together, I'll be able to grind it down however works. Don't have to worry about matching the level here other than just down to wood, and if I scuff it up, don't care. Go ahead and obliterate the stamping. None would probably look better than blurry and faint, so make it whatever color I like, and just have here's the goal. That'll summarize the whole idea. If you're going to go on a 2-week road trip and you can only take one pipe, you got big supply of tobacco, but you're stuck in your car on the road for 2 weeks, you get one pipe. And I'm going to make this to be the one that I would reach for before any other, because it's going to smoke great. So that's the project. Can do it in a very short time for the following reason. Most of what makes making replica stems so difficult is that you're matching something else, that you have to constantly adjust a little bit here, a little bit there, so that they end up looking the same, the original and the copy. But if you're just shaping to suit yourself, it doesn't take long at all. So all of this could be done, the stem and the bowl and the whole bit, probably 2 hours. And in fact, I think I'm 45 minutes into it here. But that's the concept, and really all there is to it. I'll finish it up and then have a second little video here to show you the result. But I thought I'd talk briefly about some of the ways of playing around with an airway. If you haven't studied or paid any attention to airway optimization, there's plenty on the internet about it. A lot of it's BS, but some of it's real. And one of the things that I've discovered is true is, I don't know if you call it a principle, just what it is. Peterson, the pipe making company, actually patented years ago a stem that had a tapered airway, meaning it's larger in diameter at this end than it is up here. So it's basically a very long funnel. And I've cut a few pipe stems like that using the thing, and they do smoke spectacularly well. So that's where we're starting. And I thought I'd show you this particular bit. It looks like an ordinary drill bit. It's actually not. It's not even a drill bit. It's a tapered reamer, and the tape here is just to mark depth when you're using it. They're expensive, and they're kind of tricky to find. McMaster-Carr has them last I knew. Now the catch is, do not expect to be able to chuck it up in something like this and be able to use it by hand. The deeper they go, the more surface area is engaged to the point where you can't not turn it by hand. It's impossible once you're more than an inch or so in. It'd take you all day if you could do it, and your arm would swell up and fall off. I mean, it's really hard. So you do have to clamp the stem in something and then have a lathe or a drill press to use this. But if you can do that, you're on your way. And then use, of course, something like this to blend the diameter at the end of this into where the funnel is. And then use, well, you've seen me use these tools on previous videos, so I won't do it again here. But basically, without having to worry about anything except the internals, go to town and polish it, This kind of a thing here is a 50 or 55 degree chamfer cutter. That guy goes in here. You polish all of that up with something like this in a Dremel tool. And then you take these kind of bits. I've showed you these before that I've rounded made them a rocket nose cone kind of a thing going here. And then cut the airway in here. So anyhow, that's the story. And I'm to the point now where we're going to have this blank mounted, and all that I have left to do is shape it and make it whatever color suits me at the time, and that's it. And I'll do that, show you the result, and maybe smoke it a time or two before I make the next video, just to let you know if it actually smokes well, and give you guys that might not have access to high-end collectibles to work on, but aren't satisfied with what we call basket pipes that often have a lot of putty and are they're not, you don't know if they're going to smoke very well because they're low quality wood. If you're looking for somewhere in between, but you still feel like you want a mission, you have to accomplish a goal, well, here you go, a hot rod pipe. With any luck, maybe we'll start a little movement. I know there's a fair number of pipe makers that have now subscribed to this channel. They might end up making something along those lines themselves and finding customers for them. Another option, if you're a repairman, would be to have the external dimensions of a stem mailed to you by a customer that says, well, this is my favorite shape of stem. I want a hot rod pipe made where it's the same dimensions externally, the buttons the same and all of that, because it's like tailor making clothes. You're making it for somebody's particular taste. But then beyond that, the guy says, I don't care. We don't, the color, all of that, I just want to have the thing smoking, as Jim Carrey used to say. So anyway, that's it. This is the kind of crazy stuff I get up to when I'm bored, so I'm going to blame it on that. And I'm off to finish this up. Shouldn't take but a few minutes, and we'll see where it goes from there. Alrighty then. Until then.